We're good. Yeah. Well,
You already timed it?
it's at the beginning.
Okay. 10-4. SmashCastBros. Keep it local, keep it cash, till the feds kiss your ass. I'm Ty.
I'm Moo.
I'm Trigger.
Professor.
Slick.
Slick is new to the show. He's going to be hopefully out more often. Professor's in the house. He's been on with us a bunch of times. It's good to see you again. It's hotter than hell outside.
Well,
we're
hold
officially in
It was 90 the other day.
Pride
The
Month.
week. Ties month.
And thank God for Hawk to a girl taking it over. My God, I like her a lot.
Hey, good example.
Yeah.
You sent out a text last week, and Dollar does not have social media, so he had to have a review
Education.
of Haktua Girl.
Yeah. What did he think of her?
I believe he was a fan.
Yeah. $1.
Who wouldn't be a fan?
Yeah, we were giving so much shit to each other. The one guy in the next office finally got up, couldn't take it anymore, and fucking left. What else we got going on this month?
Oh, shitty drivers galore. You know how that goes.
All right. Well, we probably ought to really give a solid intro. Professor, back in the house. What have you missed? What have you been doing? And then we're going to get to Nick. Slick.
Returned to camping for Memorial Weekend.
And how did that go?
Had a few issues. So I worked from home the Thursday before, so I could be around when the wife hooked up the camper and get things going. At 2:30, she finally goes to hook the camper up. We go get it, bring it back to the house, load some stuff up. She leaves. I have the camper keys in my pocket still. She's been gone 20 minutes. So I'm going to ride my motorcycle out to Muskegon now. It took an hour to go from Caledonia to 131 West River Drive. I was
How long?
Hour.
Why?
Construction.
Got on M6, instantly came to a stop. I really wish we could lane split in Michigan.
Well,
You can. I mean,
Well,
you
hold
can.
on. Have you
Besides
seen the
that,
seams between the lanes?
I call those squirrely lines, so I'm not touching those. But
The seams between the lanes that are about a foot wide for some reason.
Sweaty.
yeah, took me an hour to get out there.
You're sweaty. You're
Oh,
sweaty. We're all sweaty.
Because it's 95 degrees right here.
It is fucking hot up here today. Sorry.
You know, I just saw AC units on sale on Menards.
Like the
The portable ones.
yeah, I was just talking to Tommy T about that.
They're not fantastic, but
You talking them swamp cooler things?
Yeah, the
No,
portable.
like-
They're portable.
they're portable. They have tubes that go to the window.
Oh, that's cool.
I have one of those in the shed. It
And
doesn't work great.
but you have
but
zero
it-
fucking insulation.
Hold on. I have an old window shaker that Ty and I framed into the garage wall. It's not a window shaker anymore. It's a wall shaker.
What I'm saying, it doesn't cool it to the point where you're nice and comfortable, but it takes a lot of the heat out.
Well, by
Humidity.
definition, it's an air conditioner, so it conditions the air, pulling the humidity out of it.
Which,
Getting the humidity out of the air is the first trick. Then it starts to feel like it's cooler.
I mean, or you cool the humidity enough to make it feel cooler.
I mean, if I had Ty's budget, I'd get one of those old shore power reefer units for semi-trailers
Fuck yeah.
and attach that to the garage wall.
If I had Ty's money, sounds like a really good idea.
Now, the trick is teaching Ty that, you can't put a price on comfort, and maybe AC ain't such a bad
Well,
thing.
it's not Ty. You
She's
gotta
been
teach
turning
that
it on in
lesson.
the house.
Well,
I
yeah,
even
it's-
thought
it's
about
been
doing
90
this.
degrees.
I even
Only
thought
after
about
you leave
moving
for
all
work
this
in the
shit.
morning, right?
I was gonna haul all this shit over in the morning to the pool house and open the door up, but it's still muggy as shit outside. So,
Well, yeah, but it's got a mini split.
well, we just leave the door open anyway, just because it's pool house. We could do if we could figure out a way to set up like a bar inside the pool.
They make
floating.
We
floaties.
almost well, actually, if we just laid it like in the shallow end and did like a
What's the width?
however long we want,
No, what's the width of the pool?
20, 18,
So
20.
if we
Get
get
a
a
24
24
foot
foot
2x12.
board, yeah,
Run across there.
surface to surface.
I mean, you talked me right into it already. So.
mean,
We'll have to get longer cables so it can all be run off. But then, yeah, we can do it.
but we
in
could
the
set up.
pool.
We could build a just a simple 2x whatever.
They already
for the
make
side of
these-
the fucking shallow end, just for the concrete. Sit up on air, and we just be extra careful. We don't get it wet. We don't splash on it. We don't. Yeah.
They've already got the cooled, insulated, floating, like coolers that you can put. They got cup holders
The
and everything
foam ones.
too. Yeah.
The bobbers, whatever we got.
I think they make some inflatable ones too that you can just slide a cooler right into.
Oh, I just put a massive cooler next to the pool so I can just reach in.
We do
You already do that with the bathtubs.
we just hire. we pay one
I
of
do
my
it with everything.
we pay one of my kids to run to the refrigerator and back every 5 minutes.
No,
We don't need a bathroom. Let's go shit.
we set up that big cooler next to it,
Yeah.
salt and ice.
Ooh.
That's
what these need right now, 'cause
All of
these
our
don't-
drinks in there. We'll have to section it off because my 30 is going to take up a lot of space and disappear very quickly.
My one bottle isn't.
But it'll be very cold.
Yes. All right. So
We'll have to figure that out.
what else, Prof?
You
Camping.
got, Slick, Nick, you're new to driving. You got any driving bitches?
Oh my fucking god! Let me start.
Welcome to trucking.
So,
Well, you want to give background first, or are you going to get trucking bitches out of the way?
what do you mean?
Background of what?
Yeah,
Where what he's
A little
been?
bit
what he's-
about him.
Yeah.
Nobody knows who he is.
that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So he's the new guy. We're not. I mean, we've talked about you here and there. But
Yeah, I might be the youngest to sit in on the podcast for like an official podcast.
Oh.
I know we've had some youngins come in, give some 2 cents, but
Ty Jr.
yep.
Yeah, but that's not like the whole show.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, I did just recently become aware that we are the greatest fucking podcast on Total Road.
Well, between the one road and the other road, like the scene from The Jerk, you can have any prize on this shelf between this item and this item, but not this item.
So the eraser.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm 26, so I'm young, still figuring life out. But
You're gonna be old before you know it.
oh, trust me, I feel old already.
You'll show it before you know it.
Dude.
I worked blue collar most of my life, so I mean, this is the right type of group for me to be involved in. When I was young and dumb, I thought it'd be a good idea instead of going to college to join the army, and damn, was I right.
Did you well?
Oh my God, I was a piece of shit before I, went out, started doing things the grown-up way. I put my life together. I guess I didn't put my life together. The army put my life together. So it was one of those situations. They either, you figure it out, or they figure it out for you, and you don't like the result.
You're gonna end up liking it one way or another.
Right.
Each branch has its Achilles heel.
Mm-hmm.
What was the Army's? What's the Army's?
They focus way too much on the technicals. I'd say Marines, they need overly disciplined individuals because they are the few, right? The few, the proud. Those guys, they want the fittest, the strongest, the fastest. The Army needs the smartest, about as fit as they can get, sort of fast.
You got a real Army vibe about you.
Space Force.
I mean, you
Couch
got
Force.
the Air Force. I'd say their Achilles heel. A lot of people joke is the fitness regime. They say they're not the most fit, but who needs to be fit when you're sitting at a computer all day? And then the Navy is, I could say one, but we'll say stuck at sea.
Getting stuck at sea.
Stuck at sea with a bunch of dudes. You know what they say?
Well, there was a song by a group, I forgot what they were called In the Navy, talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's always been their jam.
Jamming
Well-
something.
See, I still find it great that he's still not including the Coast Guard and all that.
Coast too.
You think they're a branch? Okay, my
They
bad.
think they're a branch.
What about Army Reserves? How do you feel about them?
I joke
Weekend
about
warriors.
National Guard and stuff like that, but yeah, weekend warriors, their job is to be standby for deployment. Honestly, funny enough, they deploy more than active duty does.
Aren't
Yeah.
they the guys that change the oil in the equipment you guys are supposed to run?
Sadly, no, because they'd probably do a better job of it.
You're right. These things don't have a very good name, but they're pretty good.
Yeah, they really
I'm
hit
gonna
the spot.
I'm
They're
gonna
refreshing.
switch to fucking liquor here, presume, but.
You're going to change gears.
So while I was in, I was infantry. Spent 4 years doing that. Did one deployment. Didn't see anything special, but I had a lot of fun doing it. So Now I work for.
Thanks, Dick.
Trucking's been great. He's like 20. Look how good he looks.
Yeah.
Keeps us young.
Not a day past 25.
What was it? There was a meeting one day where a less than favorable dock worker was in on, and someone made a joke that our oldest driver, dude's like 68 years old, and hair is pure silver. Mm-hmm. Someone made a joke that he's not a day over 25, and the dock worker that nobody likes is like, really?
That's the one that had so many problems and ended up getting fired?
Yeah.
Oh, I've heard lots of stories about him. He sounded like a real fucking peach.
We should have him on.
I don't even want to know. I probably said too much already.
Oh, the stories he could tell.
Oh my god.
The stories you could tell. Not on this.
I'm gonna keep hanging on Nick for a minute, and then we're gonna bounce back to the professor, because Professor brought notes. He always brings notes.
Yeah,
look at
do
how
you see how
fucking
nice his handwriting
well-organized this guy is. I know.
Effeminate is a word I'd use. Sorry.
Well, I have to be able to read it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Dude, you write like you shop at Victoria's Secret for yourself.
I have a microscope I could use to read that, but
Gotta make sure
It's his
I'm matched,
bathroom
damn it.
microscope. But
Got any? I mean, I gotta ask. Got any war stories?
So, like I said, I
you
didn't
don't-
see
you don't
anything
have to.
special. I did 9 months in Iraq, and the most I saw, I guess the craziest I saw, for a short period of time, we had some Navy SEALs with us. And, way off in the distance, we could see satellites going up on a building that was an abandoned factory, or so we were told. Kept coming up, going back down. And so those guys went out. They said, we're going to look at it. We're going to go poke the bear. I guess they got hit by an explosive, maybe a small IED, maybe a grenade. We don't know. They wouldn't tell us. But they came back with a guy, and that guy supposedly suspected ISIS member. Now, the U.S. Army has this thing called the Geneva Convention and rules of engagement. Same thing for the Marines, anything U.S. But you know who doesn't? The local Iraqi army.
So they can dismember him all they want.
Yep, so they actually tied his hands up to the back of the local Iraqi army Humvee and started driving. And they kept going until he stopped running. And then they would pick him up, ask him questions. If they didn't like what they heard, hit the gas again. So, I mean, that's as far as I saw.
Nick pointed out to me this week that Geneva Convention does not apply to civilians.
This is true.
Just a little fun fact.
What about ex-military?
So
I
so
don't-
those contractors.
I don't know how it applies to ex-military, but as far as I know, I have separated. I have received paperwork that says I am no longer part of the United States Armed Forces.
Oh.
I'm no longer a uniformed member of the military. So, I mean, quite literally, I could walk up to any NCO officer and tell them,
Okay.
F you, get wrecked. I could spit on their uniform. They couldn't do a damn thing to me.
You wouldn't.
But
but-
did you-
Oh, God, no, I would not.
Did
but-
you get your DD-214 so you can get your discounts?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Every Veterans Day, man. I'm out. There was one year I went to 3 separate Applebee's. 3 separate Applebee's. I got 3 separate meals. They give you a pretty hefty meal, and they give you a $5 gift card to go with it.
Holy
so I got,
shit.
yeah. So I ate good that day.
They're wheeling you out in a
Say,
fucking
there's-
wheelbarrow.
O'Reilly's gives a hell of a discount for veterans too, and that's every day, not just.
Good.
Yeah.
They should. I think everybody should.
I know you guys aren't a huge fan of Lowe's, but they give a hefty discount for veterans.
My biggest
we don't
issue
mind-
with Lowe's is how far away it is.
Yeah. Right now,
It's our
Also-
least favorite big box home improvement.
I've heard some bitching about them. If you're not active, they won't give you the discount.
seen something
And
about that,
I've
too.
seen a bunch of different places, and it was, oh no. Once that person got a hold of corporate called that one. Yeah, oh
so
hell no.
the trick is they dummy proof it. Okay, when you go to checkout, they tell you, look, there's a place you can go fill out the information, and they use this website called
great-
ID Me. It uses your SOCH, your license, and stuff like that to verify you are who you say you are, and then you give them your military service information, and they cross-reference that. And if your prior service, I mean, you can't cheat that system. So a lot of people, I suspect, if they're complaining about it, they probably just didn't. They were too lazy to go through the steps.
And
So
to be
it took me
honest-
like 15 minutes, and I haven't had an issue since.
An American
I
being
use
lazy? No.
I use my dad's DD214 number and my wife's DD214 number. So
Your wife's.
yes,
What's she in for?
Air Force.
Oh, that explains a couple
Really?
things.
I guess I didn't know that.
Come back to meet
She
the man
still
who
has.
taught you
She
what
has a
gaslighting is.
DD214. She served
knock it off.
28 days in the Air Force.
That was it?
Yep. Basic training. She blew her knee out jumping off the wall. Was medically released from the military. Had to go have surgery and have her knee reconstructed.
10-4. What else? I mean, there's got to be some fucking.
Oh man.
So you sweat your ass off in the desert because they make you wear long gear and
Oh, my
heavy
God.
packs, and
So
that's got to toughen you right up.
Dude wears pants all the time now.
Matter of that.
I mean, I wear shorts occasionally.
If it's really bad, you'll wear
I think
shorts.
it was last week I wore shorts.
It was 90.
I wore shorts last Saturday
What?
for the 10 minutes I was in the pool and then got out and
Oh.
changed back to jeans.
So, I mean, Iraq was less than fun, but I mean, everything's fun in hindsight.
Right.
So the way they had us rotating while we're overseas, it was 8 hours of tower guard. So you stand in a hot tower surrounded by hot sand, and you look out at a hot desert, no trees, no hills, flat. Boring as hell. But that's what you
8
do
hours.
for 8 hours, you and one other guy. Now, it starts off fun because you have a few guys you get to hang out with in tower. You talk about what you can. But by, the third month, you've been with everybody a couple times for 8 hours and you haven't seen anything different. So, outside of what you find on social media through the horrible USO internet, I mean, you are basically rehashing the same conversation you had last week, the day before, for 8 hours.
Fuck that.
Is it like every work environment, every company has that one guy that everybody just fucking hates because of some reason or another?
We call them Baby Giraffe.
So they exist, huh?
Oh my god! Yeah,
Okay, I'm sure they are. I'm sure.
I mean, everybody's got different titles for different people. I mean, you got Dirty Birds, you got Blue Falcons. The type of people that do what they can to screw you over. I mean, the Army is a competitive nature. I mean, everybody kind of expects that to be the case, but promotions are harder and harder if there's a lot of people involved. And so promotion to E5, which is sergeant, at some point it starts becoming a game of how well liked you are. Do you have enough points? How many people are competing for that E5 spot? And so you're constantly trying to just improve yourself, make yourself look good. And there are some people who do not mind throwing other people under the bus to get that far.
I was going to ask.
those people.
That's kind of my next question. Is it a favoritism game? Is it the who kisses the other guy's ass more, or
Sometimes, a lot of the time, the Army cares more about the physique of the soldiers. Especially, I was infantry again, so they want guys who can carry lots of weight, guys who can pull lots of. If somebody's hurt, can they pick me up? Can they carry me out?
okay?
Sometimes, if you don't know squat about what you're supposed to be doing out there, you're likely not to be favored. But they don't want super smart guys in the infantry. I mean, that's how it is. They want people who can say yes, and that is it.
And pull triggers.
Yes, pull triggers and carry heavy things. And so, I mean, Moody can attest to this. I am a smart ass.
Oh. I didn't know you were asked to that. Yeah, smart ass. I thought you were going to say you were smart. I'm like, you drive a truck for a living.
I got cocky in the Army because I knew my job. I wasn't the strongest, but I knew my job, and I did not mind calling out my superiors, and so it got me in lots of trouble.
You would have never made a promotion because you probably pissed off all the wrong people, or all the right
Not
people.
all the wrong people, but yeah, most of them. I was on a lot of shit lists.
Right.
Just the shitty people.
But I mean,
The problem is they deserve it, and
well, maybe not all of them.
okay.
But I mean, you have guys who have been in the same unit for 3 years, don't know how to do a vehicle layout. Seems monotonous, seems dumb, but that's something we do once a month when we're in garrison. you should at this point know how to identify, pick or a shovel. But infantry being infantry, they find the bricks of humanity, both physically and metaphorically. Again, people that can say yes.
And pick heavy things and pull triggers.
But no, there's
Build sandbag walls and
and I spent a lot of time
I
doing
don't
that
know.
too.
Thank you.
So when we weren't in tower, that's exactly what we were doing. We were filling sandbags, building barriers. Spent a lot of time building. They call them mortar barricades. So a spot for you to hide if we get hit by mortar fire.
Okay.
Building up, laying out sea wire, making HESCO fences, which is HESCO is just a burlap sack wrapped by, chain link fence, and you fill it with sand to make a wall. Stops bullets. So 8 hours tower, 8 hours of that, and then 8 hours sleep, and you do that for 9 months.
8 hours work, 8 hours sleep, and then you're back on for another 8 hour shift. So you're
No,
gonna
it's 16 hours work, 8 hours sleep.
Okay.
So you're really tired.
You did one job for 8 hours this day. The same day you do another job for
Okay,
8 hours.
okay.
So
then
Ty,
you get 8 hours
what
to
you
sleep.
do a cumulative 1 hour a day. 16 of those.
So when I back up, it's Hunter Helen here. Hopefully it's horn stop.
Otherwise, we're gonna have to grab
But
somebody's pew pew and go take care of that horn. And I don't know where it is on that car, but I'm gonna find it. One at a time.
In the
So,
driver's
but-
seat, that's where I'm going to take care of it.
Fucking hot out
being
here.
overseas, that's not a good example of what military life is like. That's where you want to go. That's not what military life is like. The running joke is across the infantry. Who says I don't get skills to leave the military? I'm great at sweeping, and I could sleep outside professionally.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah.
Ty's pretty close on the second part.
Not today.
But a lot of it's the training. The training is what everybody loves. You go out, you shoot really cool guns, you find really cool ways to interact with a lot of different people, and you make big scale things happen at the small level. I got to shoot just in my time in Army, M4, underbarrel 40 millimeter grenade launcher, the 240 and the 249. So 249 is called the SAW, 5.56 full auto machine gun, 240 7.62 full auto machine gun. The Medusa or the M2, which is 50 caliber machine gun, and the Mark 19, which is a fully automatic 40 millimeter machine gun, shoots explosive rounds.
My brain is so fucking hard right now.
So,
It's rock hard.
did our coworker that was in the Marine Corps ever tell you his little story from Iwo Jima?
No.
They were shuttling some World War II vets on the Japanese side to Iwo Jima. Basically a little security detail that he had to do. And guy was carrying an M249. Jumped off the truck, but he had the breech open, and it slammed shut with a round in place and popped him right in his back plate.
Ooh.
Yeah, he got hit with friendly fire. Said it hurt like a motherfucker, but the plate stopped it.
Well, I can't believe it.
It'll stop one.
It got the one.
I feel like there'd still be a little pinch.
Yeah, he said it hurt like hell.
Yeah, it would be a. 'cause
That's
it's
a
still.
7.62 hit in the back.
It's the same as the 30-06, right?
I think it's a little shorter, but yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, said they were jumping off the back of the truck. The guy that wasn't supposed to be carrying it was carrying it. I mean, they're not going to use them anyways.
Right.
Just wanted to carry it. Had the breech open, which you're not supposed to, and jumped off the truck, and that breech slammed home
Whoops.
right in his back. Luckily, hit a plate though.
That's got to be like the worst thing because now for the rest of your time in the military, you're going to be known as that guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
and I'm sure
I'm
the rest
sure
of his
nobody-
time in the military was probably not that long.
This guy said he got an Article 15.
Only an article?
I mean, he probably had some stuff on the side that we're not going to talk about.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was a court martial. I
I'm
mean,
pretty sure this person said article.
yeah.
Okay.
Either way,
Wow.
yeah. Well, at least you know the plates work.
I tested it myself.
Yeah, they try to convince you that your entire career that all the Army's equipment works. And they start as early as basic training. They tell you your belt is strong. It can hold your body weight. They put you on a wire that bridges like 25 feet, and they're like, scoot along it, use your belt. Then they put you in a gas chamber, and they're like, see how well the mask works? You don't feel anything. And then they're like, now take it off.
Oh, God. Yikes.
Now put it back on. See how well it is?
Bet you won't do that again.
So, like the motor pool
Oh, my
side of things, how well is that shit taken care of?
It ain't. I mean, you know, Trigger, he got a lot of training to do the job he does, and so he's able to do his job well. He's got resources he can pull from to go do his job
He is
well.
the resource.
Yeah. But my point is,
Stop, your neck can only take so much.
you know, you get a lot of guys out there who think it's a fun idea to be a mechanic, and they have never worked on a vehicle before in their life. You know, like myself, you know, I'm not very mechanically inclined. I would not trust myself to go out there and fix, you know, a Humvee, a Stryker, LMTV. But then you take it and you're fixing machinery that has been fixed a million times before by people who also don't know what they're doing. And it just becomes a compounding issue of, wow, I don't understand where this wiring's going.
Sounds like an LTL freight company.
Keep that in mind when I say I want to buy an old Humvee. It's the worst ones that are auctioned off.
It's the ones that, you know, they could fix long enough to get running, to
Get
sell.
it off their lot,
Yep.
and then
There's only so much duct tape and zip ties out there. And it's probably all on those things.
well, when it's bought through a government contract, it's like $18 a zip tie.
Yeah, no shit.
You know, each platoon when I was in would get one vehicle because I was in a they call it a mechanized infantry unit. So you get a vehicle, you put all your crap on that vehicle, and then you march with your gear. So I don't carry a ruck like the light infantry does. I get to I get the easy.
Hold on. The light infantry carries more shit
Correct. Yep.
than the mechanized infantry.
Well, because you got to think about it. All right, that truck's heavy.
What is the definition, your rough definition of a mechanized infantry?
So you're either in Bradleys or Strikers. I think they're trying to phase out the Strikers, by the way. So don't. quote me on
Again,
that.
for somebody that doesn't know.
Auction
Striker.
sites are gonna be lit.
Striker is specifically labeled as a ICV, infantry carrying vehicle. It carries up to, I think, 13 men. They pack them in there like sardines.
How many women?
Oh, that's touchy.
70%.
Is that the international chassis trucks?
I think so.
Dude, he drives a Subaru. I don't fucking know.
Made right over in freaking Charlotte.
I do know when the Strikers were first being manufactured, they were doing aluminum plating, and they found out really quickly that when aluminum burns, it's toxic, and guys were dying inside the vehicles because of the toxic fumes.
You say Spartan over to
Holy shit.
Spartan Motors over to Charlotte was making them, and Demmer Incorporated was cutting all the plates
Yep.
out over in East Lansing.
So, but yeah, no, its whole job, get infantrymen from one point to the other. The issue is it is not good at doing that. If it hits sand, if it hits mud, if it hits a pebble in the road, it will break down.
If it's particularly dense air,
If I'm not mistaken,
Today.
they had a M11 Cummins in them. Dry weight without infantry in them was
dry weight or
Night-
curb weight?
curb weight was like 90,000 pounds.
Holy shit.
Oh yeah, but you got to think
eight tires.
It's 1 inch thick, and then an inch thick plate, I do believe.
Yeah, I think it's an inch of Kevlar. that
They
put in
have
those things.
electric winches on them. They said that electric winch ain't big enough to even pull this out because it doesn't go up to 80,000 plus pounds.
If you want to get pissed off real quick, they don't even know where the winch operating cable is for those things most of the time. You lose it as soon as you get it to garrison, and then nobody bothers ordering another one. So you have a winch on there that's completely useless.
Well, it's useless apparently because it can't pull the vehicle.
I think it's
And it's
designed.
I mean,
Because you don't have a
if
cable.
it's
I think it's-
static and you got to pull a Jeep out or a regular Humvee out, it would do that.
If you've
Yeah,
got
but if
two
that-
of them and you're
But if
pulling
you were
one
stuck,
out,
you need to wrap it
striker's
around a
stuck,
tree.
You're fucked. You need to go grab a freaking big ass freaking toe strap and hook another one to it, and hopefully get on some decent ground where you can get
That
30
is
feet of
a-
slack and 30 feet of freaking jerk.
That is a big
Yep.
toe strap.
That's what we usually did. Is we would get toe straps and we would yank each other out because again we didn't know where the winch
It's
cable
the only damn way
was.
you can do it.
But there was one time I got to train with the winch one time while I was in the Army, 4 years working with strikers, and we used it for two things. We pulled out a Humvee, and we used it to remove barbed wire and C-wire from a road that we needed to cross as training, I guess.
Now, did you ever use the winch on the Humvees?
Nope.
Because I was told they go on the independent axle shaft, and it's just a spool of cable. You hook it onto the independent axle shaft, throw it in gear, and it wraps around the axle shaft and pulls your ass out.
Yep, I never got to see it in action. I mean, again, there's a lot of resources you'll find that, though available, not used. The Army's the infantry's motto is if you can't do it with 3 people, use 4. If you can't do it with 4, use 5.
I always thought their motto was "Aren't ready for Marines yet." I'm sure you heard that about 1,000 times.
The striker ramps. I mean, you probably know better than I do. Those things are about heavy as dick too. You got 600 probably pounds ish of ramp there, maybe more because it's that inch of Kevlar plating again, and a steel door. Those things would break all the time. What did we do? We'd get like 6 guys to just pick it up.
Good God.
Yep. Nope. Yeah, we wouldn't use any winches. We wouldn't use any jacks. Nothing.
Why do it the smart way? Do it the manpower.
Do it the
intensive way.
military
And
way.
because the door's broken, what do you have to do? You have to have somebody sit inside with a bar to engage the locks when you finally get it closed. So, I mean, those things were always broken down. I would.
Dibs on being the one throwing the bar to lock it in place.
Well, Baby Giraffe was always the one doing it because he was a twig. You got the. I've heard the Bradleys are good though. I've never heard a bad thing about Bradleys other than people who don't know how to operate them. They cry because they break the tracks. Well, it helps if you know how to drive it and don't break tracks. It's all operator error.
They train you, but not, and then they just throw you the keys to you for something else.
Well, I mean,
They don't teach you mechanical sympathy.
because
You know
these guys
people
these
that
guys
don't
want
have
to treat
it.
the Bradleys like you can turn on a dime. I mean, it's all tracks.
Oh, yeah.
So they want to do
It's not my fucking lawn.
yeah, exactly
Like I say,
exactly.
it's just like excavators and
Skid
dozers.
steers and-
Don't just freaking crank one lever one way or one lever
This-
the other
this
way.
isn't
That
a
puts
zero
so
turn.
much fucking side tension on these motherfuckers that it's just it rips the lips off the bogey wheels. It'll freaking just fucking destroys them.
Yep.
Yeah, but did you see the 6 Cyclone I just did? All right.
Now, do you guys have what are they, Hemmets?
I don't even know what that is.
Nope.
Cab forward, and you're sitting fairly low, front of the cab,
Oh,
What was the
is that another ICV?
Unimog?
What you're talking about?
and it's got
You talking Unimogs?
Those are bad.
yes, but this fucker's
He's
like
talking-
60 feet long and 8 drive axles.
Yeah, I think I know. Bunch of
It's
space
almost
in the
like
back just for carrying guys.
a lot of the time I think that
I think
fuckers are huge and they're badass.
Dude, I was this close to buying one of those 5-ton military trucks retired that had a hydraulic winch on the front, and I'm really kicking myself for not getting it.
so. I never got to use one of these. I have seen them. What we got was LMTVs, basically just big, long, semi-straight trucks, just flatbeds.
Oh, I just always thought those were badass, and I'd love to drive one.
I'll look at you driving.
I don't know, man. Sitting forward of the steering axle seems kind of weird.
I think you would like the Hercules. It's what they used to tow Bradleys and Strikers out of pits. Those things are big. They are strong. Those things move.
Now, years ago, I had the company I worked for rented to Michigan National Guard, which I know different similar, whatever.
Same but
But
different. I mean,
they
it's all the
came-
same stuff.
That's the Hercules.
Oh hell yeah.
Oh, wow.
They rented a bunch of box trailers from us. Just 48-foot semi-trailers, not refrigerated, just box vans. And they come over with their freaking semi to get them. Do you know how high a military semi sits?
No.
Okay, so standard fifth wheel plate, the top is 46.5 to 47.5 inches tall. A military one is 5.5 fucking feet off the ground.
So the top of the trailer is sticking way in the
Top
sky.
of the trailer, a 48-foot trailer,
Well, you're
standard height to go
15
down the
foot
road
now.
is damn near 15.4.
So what you're saying is they needed to take a surprise trip to the Potter Park Zoo in Lansing.
Yeah.
Yes,
Come
yes,
from the
go
north.
down. Well, they ended up turning around, going back, and renting one of our semis so they could pull the trailers.
That's crazy. I didn't
It's
know
like-
that.
But they're just fucking huge, and they're using the trucks are built with those freaking Hemet tires on them. Those Hemet tires are 52-inch tall.
I think those are the same tires the Striker used too, because they try to make the
they
vehicle's
are.
uniform.
Yep.
And I'll tell you, those things are freaking heavy too.
Yeah, they're 52-inch Michelins.
As like you said, all uniform. Because why? That way, if one machine gets a flat tire, you've already got.
You got a million spares.
All the junk ones
Everybody
you-
carries one extra spare, so if God forbid, one person breaks 6 tires, which happened to me. Yep. So training in Fort Irwin, California, of course, it was awful. But again, sand. Those things do not tolerate sand at all, so they sink. And then the tires get
frickin'
shredded.
heavy.
Yep, and then tires get shredded while you're trying to get out. So you burn through tires faster than you go through socks while you're out there. And with how heavy the rim and the tire is put together, you're sucking.
So how many
Well, not to mention
guys does it take to change one of those fucking tires out in the field?
If you're good at your job, only one.
Okay, if your name is Nick, how long does it take?
So the way I did it is I would stand the tire up, and then I'd back up to it, and I'd pick it up, just only legs. I'd pick it up and balance it on.
We're talking the 52-inch monster truck
Yes,
tires.
yes. I would get it up because you jack it up just enough so that you got about half inch of space that you got to pick it up, and if you can get it up that half inch, you can set it up on the hub and rotate it
Slide
back
it
into place.
and
Mhm.
then, Okay.
So
Not to mention, the wheels are heavier than a semi-truck wheel because they're a two-piece beadlock wheel on all of them.
Well, they're already.
So
they're
you have all the extra
52-inch
bolts,
tall.
they have-
Rubber's got to be what, this freaking thick?
Oh yeah, I
How heavy are
bet they're probably 20-ply tires.
How heavy are they?
Oh, you're looking 700-800 pounds tire.
and I wouldn't say they were that heavy. They had to be lighter than that. I was scrawny when I was in. I was only 150.
I was gonna say our normal semi-truck tires on a wheel, just a regular low pro 22.5, is 320 pounds.
Single?
Yep.
Damn, sucker.
We use super singles. They weigh about that much.
That's not including rim.
No,
No,
that
ours
is
come in
including
on a
rim.
wheel.
And maybe I'm wrong. I'd have to put one on a scales, but all I know, I do them and they're fucking heavy.
Yeah.
I know that I've wheeled some 52-inch Michelins around, not necessarily on the beadlock wheels, because I know a lot of buddies of mine that put those 52-inch Michelins on rock crawlers
Now,
and stuff.
I will say once you get the tire there, there's enough space in the wheel well. You can get 2 guys in the wheel well with the tire to pick it up. So you just put your back up against the wheel well and you pull that thing to your chest and you set it up where it needs to go. And so, I've seen it done a million ways, but if you're really good at your job, because I was a driver for a
That's
short
a
period of
young
my
man's
time.
thing.
See, they're not going to have like what you have and use a freaking motorcycle jack. Put the tire on there.
Don't
to
you
get it
use
up
a
there.
two-wheeler to lift up a
No,
tire?
I do that for brake drums.
Oh.
I use a pry bar,
Johnny Bar.
go underneath it, or dirt shovel. Put the dirt shovel under, step on it, push the tire on. Gives a good flat base so it doesn't sink into the ground, lifts up.
I almost threw a motorcycle jack away a long time ago, and I looked at it, and I looked at my gigantic truck, and I'm like, fuck picking them tires up ever again. That worked out great. Anyway,
If I had the space and the money for a motorcycle jack, I would have one.
Yeah, but you have a Harley. You got to work on it all the time.
it might be the best investment you ever made. Okay,
Mechanically inclined now.
we'll come back around on it, I'm sure, for more questions and stuff. But the professor is
Raring
Chomping
to
at the
go.
bit.
he's ringing on that book.
I was just sitting here.
Oh, there we go.
Was that an old man just
That was
I
just-
moved?
Old man turned his head wrong.
Yeah.
Sneezed.
What did we leave off with last time you were here?
Well, I don't know.
Well, we did some MRE eating today.
The radios. We were going to talk about the radios.
I did bring my radios. This week I learned how to almost set up a channel to get to a repeater. So someone takes a contraption, sticks it way up on a tower, and it basically receives what you send out, and then it repeats it so it can go out further. So there's a repeater in Moline that should hit here.
Should.
Should.
So
It
you,
has.
you're taking X amount of watts, sending it to the repeater, and the repeater has got 50,000
Boosted it.
watts, and it's really shooting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So actually today I was scrolling the Facebook, and they were doing a Skywarn thing. So severe weather comes, and they're going to use the GRMS system to just kind of the area give a breakdown of weather. So if there's a tornado, you guys can get on and say, where am I at and what's going on?
You were slowly turning into one of those ham radio nerds.
Yeah.
No.
I give it a year.
He's like,
No.
no, but I do spend a lot of time at my bench.
So
But no, I will not be taking the ham operator license because that is.
I feel like that's
You
a
were
lot
reading the questions and I was falling asleep last time.
of, I feel like there's so many other things I could be doing.
Yeah.
so
So you can get on the FCC website, get your GRMS license, and you're done.
How much does it cost?
$35. It lasts for 10 years, and it covers your whole family. So
But we still
So-
don't know if they reach out there just
Well,
radio to radio yet.
on
They
the
do.
on the break, I'll take one down to the house. You take one down to the pit, and we'll see if they
and I'll
work.
sit here.
so
Do we have 3?
I got 4.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then we can
Um,
test it there.
but during that system today, the Skywarn, I'm in Caledonia, and I'm hearing someone from Holland, Grand Haven, some dude that's in this. I can't remember.
And we couldn't hear you from across the garage.
That's because we were on a repeater channel, but I didn't have it set up. So
I feel like that's
so you
pretty good
didn't know how to-
communication.
So-
If something else happened and but you still got to have a Faraday bag to fucking store them in.
that's if an EMP goes off.
But even then, the tower's going to get shot. So all of it's going to be.
So you're not using repeaters.
But it's one of these things where you have to learn how to use it now, because once shit hits the fan, can I go to YouTube and figure out how to set this thing up? And because what I think I have set up, I still haven't been able to reach anybody, but I can hit the repeater because it's giving me the signal that it's got it and it's coming back to me. So something I still don't have set up right. So
Probably because you were the only guy
Nerd. On
that
the
has the GRMS radios. They're just hoping somebody else buys them so you didn't waste your money. I don't know. I want to try it out, I guess, and see.
all right.
We went out. We've talked about the MREs. MRE is meals ready to eat, right?
Yeah.
Okay. They're military.
It was
So-
rejected by Ethiopians.
No,
How are you feeling right now?
Huh?
How are you feeling right now?
My
Can
my
you have a
guts
little
aren't
snack?
gurgling
Not
yet.
yet. That pizza, the pepinos, we still got to do the pizza review. But
You got one open?
I have an MRE one for him. It's a backpacker version of pizza.
I'd have to run back. I got more in the truck.
well, we
I
did. We
didn't
did some
have
at
the
the pit.
chicken out of Moody's, but the nutrition bar or whatever, that
Chocolate,
wasn't too bad.
energy
The-
bar.
The peanuts
Oh, yeah.
and
It was
what
actually
else?
pretty good.
the
It's the barbecue corn kernels.
Those
was
are really
good.
good.
Yep, that
We
was
had, we had
corn
the
nuts.
chicken chunks.
I ate the whole damn
So
bag of those.
I was never a big fan of that one.
It was okay.
usually,
How often did they make you guys eat that shit?
anytime we were in the field, at least once a month for at least a week at a time.
Okay. Holy shit.
I had a medic
That
once while I
looks
was in the
exactly
army.
like the ones Moody just had.
That
Yep.
is a pizza, a pepperoni pizza.
So we were told by the field medics out there that you're not supposed to eat them for more than like a month at a time or something like that.
Get you clogged up. That's
So,
why they give you the
Because
gum.
of your lack of
Palate?
there's your pizza that you can have stored up. Also brought a little dessert.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
I had
Say,
one
I'll
of
take
these.
that shit.
That's delicious.
Freeze-dried ice cream
Did
sandwich.
you try one of these yet or no?
Hell no.
Really?
I watched a review and someone described the taste, and I will not eat that.
Dude, that might be enough fiber for you to stop blowing up shitters quite so bad.
I have 3 of those, so
The
I see you fucking pop it and
Go ahead,
give 'em a
yeah.
piece.
the one, like I said, the ones down at the pit, they fucking surprised me. They really did. They were a lot better than I anticipated.
Well, you
So-
guys, they were doubting the heat pack.
You
Because
guys were doubting the heat pack.
It was impressive.
Dude, that
I will
motherfucker-
no longer doubt heat pack.
Sometimes for fun, if we had an extra heat pack, because we didn't always have time to activate it and cook our food, we would cut them open, put them in a water bottle, add some water, and throw them off into a bush someplace. Let it do its thing.
add a little bit of water.
Dude, at one point I thought it was boiling.
It
literally
very
thought
well
it was
could have
freaking
been.
boiling.
It very well
From-
could have been because they do sometimes boil. They're not super consistent. Sometimes you get ones that burn hot. Other times,
Trick I learned from Marines when I was in high school was just take the packet itself out, don't cut it open, and stick it in a water bottle, add Tabasco sauce and water, and throw it, and it's a pepper MRE bomb.
You talked me right into it.
Are you ready for the next one? Breakfast
Roll
food.
Oh, hey.
So are you going to try this if I pop that sumbitch open?
Hell yeah, it is.
Not yet. We just got done eating pizza. Leave it shut for a minute. This one looks really good, though.
fortunately
Well,
for you,
hold
if you
on.
open it up, it won't go bad for like another week.
In this humidity, I don't know.
So that is
Does
just
MRE have breakfast menu?
Yeah, they got a couple of them. I think there was one. It was sausage maple. It came with sausage maple flavored patty of mystery meat. Maple
Magic
syrup.
marker grill lines.
Yep.
Gross.
Maple syrup, and then it was it gave you a banana nut muffin top, and that sucker was good.
I feel like I'm way ahead of you there.
Another meal, one that I just think is hilariously named, was the rib-shaped barbecue flavored patty. It was the exact same patty they used for the maple patty, just barbecue flavored. And they also had the burger, which was the same patty, without any flavoring.
What are some of the reasons they make these MREs? Because they're easily carryable?
You can carry them. You don't have to worry about it going bad. I mean,
Okay.
the Army buys a massive amount of these things. They keep them in storage for years. I mean, because they're good for, I think, up to 10 years or something like that, maybe even longer.
And then they sell them. They're still good for another 10.
So, if for example, while we were in Iraq, if you drop a pallet or 6 pallets of these things in an area that you know people are going to be at for a while,
Okay. That's the camping one, is worth for about 3 years.
you
or
go
so.
out, you pick up all the boxes because they airdrop them, parachute drops. You know,
Okay.
you go out there and you pick up all the stuff. You can easily make a mound of MREs and not have to worry about it for like the next months.
But they also packed with calories too.
They're also massively packed with calories. And
So-
when you're out in the heat or training, because when you're training, you do a daytime cycle and you do a nighttime cycle. You get a couple hours to take a nap, and you do that every day for a week or 2 weeks, and so you're burning calories all frickin' day.
So,
When you come off of one of those week-long tours, did everybody just fucking crash?
First you have to clean your rifles, and then you crash.
Okay.
so the civilian ones probably only have a 3-year lifespan because of liability,
Wow.
whereas the military ones, like even the military is sat down with like ibuprofen. Ibuprofen has an expiration date on the bottle, but after that date, it's no longer 100% effective. It's 99%. So the military actually did the research to find out how long medications are actually good for. Like reasonably
After
effective.
expiration.
After expiration. Like reasonably effective.
Okay.
Because the expiration date just means it's not 100% effective anymore.
I take fucking.
So even if your
my freaking-
ibuprofen's expired, it's just like 99% effective instead. It's fine. Just keep going.
So one thing that's kind of cool about the MREs, the box they come in has a sticker on the outside of it, and that sticker has an indicator to
What
tell you
decade it was made.
know if it is good or bad now. If the sticker has changed color, it'll go from red to black. If it is black, it is no longer good.
Like from heat or
Heat or aging.
oh,
And so, ordinarily, heat is not enough to set that thing off. Again,
Not when they're sending them to the
designed to
desert
be
on purpose,
in the
right.
desert, right? And so, I mean, the sticker, as long as you have the box still that the MRE came from, you can easily ride out and just make sure, as long as you eat it before that sticker turns black, you might be good. But
Might be.
I feel like how does this
I heard that
fucking
might-
sticker? Does it take like a week or two to change color, or does it just instantly go click?
I mean, this thing is designed to live for 10 years in somebody's basement or in storage. I mean,
How
feel
much
like-
are those stickers, just the sticker themselves, worth? Who is making these stickers, and how much money are they making?
well,
considering
hey,
it's
they
Turns
probably cost 50 cents to make, but for the government, it costs $50.
Yep. But I mean, yeah. So these MREs are well prepared, though. I mean, with the exception of the candy,
Do you
it
know
always
offhand,
freaks me out.
are they irradiated?
They very well could be. I don't. I think the manufacturer is in Ohio. I want to say it's Ohio is where they manufacture MREs for the military.
I feel radiated right now.
But the MRE, the candy they give you in those MREs, if it's chocolate, often you'll open it up and see a bunch of white chocolate, and you'll look at the back of the package and you'll see it's been expired for 3 years, and you're like, oh well, it tastes good still. So.
The chicken chunk one today had a teriyaki beef stick. And I open up the packet, and there's a teriyaki beef stick in a separate plastic packaging. All right, I'll open another one. There's plenty of litter.
I think the
With that.
It's a little
turkey,
colder.
the turkey meat stick was probably my favorite.
We
of
need to
all
grab a
those.
couple of them, stick them in the freezer.
Not too late.
You know, we will. We're almost. We're at 52 minutes, so go.
Oh really?
Look, yeah,
Okay.
and then we'll take a break and get some.
Get those
fan.
bow fangs tested.
Yep. Moody just wants to get in his car whether he sees that.
Yeah, shit.
Well, I think that's why he wants to go to the pit.
The gate is closed, but you can get right up to the gate.
That's fine.
But yeah, I'll tell you, man.
got AC, that's all that matters.
MREs, they are awesome. From where they started to where they are now.
Yeah, I feel like
mean,
in the 70s,
and everybody has their favorite meal. Everybody has a meal that they don't like. I mean, I personally, there was spinach, what is it? Spinach fettuccine or something of that nature. It was less than tasty to me. But I've heard stories of other units that would strangle each other for that one specific MRE meal.
really.
It never made sense to me, but they liked it. Must be a regional thing.
Were you clambering for the vegetarian options?
Yes, but for a odd reason. They have the best snacks. You know, they're the ones that get like the barbecue corn nuts or combos, or
Like I said, I was pleasantly surprised with how good. I figured it'd be like biting into a hunk of cardboard. Now, the protein bar thing, it looked like
Oh, that nutrition
flattened
bar
shit.
or whatever?
It
I
looked
thought
like
it
flat
looked like fucking hell, but it tastes pretty damn good.
apple
Yeah.
cinnamon. If you find one of those are really good. There's another one they have. It's like a raspberry flavor. It tastes like Tutti Frutti.
What's the best source for these things if anybody wants to run out and buy some?
I think there's surplus websites that sell pallets of these things. Now, a pallet will run you a pretty penny, but it's so much cheaper to buy it by the pallet.
Then
I
you
would
can
never be able to
resell
get
a
through it.
bunch of it.
Yeah, you could resell a bunch of them, or
Oh,
you
yeah.
just have a pallet in storage for preppers. You know, I know you guys have brought preppers on here before.
Well, like
preppers
if we all
checklist.
went in on a pallet,
They'd go. I think they'd go gaga for it.
if we all went in on a pallet,
Yeah.
we'd all save money.
I think it's $3,000 for a pallet, but you get like somewhere in the
That's like-
vicinity of like 60 boxes or something at $12 or at what is it? It's 12
60.
meals per box. and about $60 to $200 per box, depending on where you find them and how expensive they are at any given time. I mean, that's
720 meals on a pallet.
That's 2 years worth of food.
I think the average running price right now is $120 per box.
Case.
It would basically be 1 year worth of food.
Now
I spend that on Doritos.
you
and
say
Pepsi
that,
and
but you can get away with eating 1 MRE a day
because the calories so
because the
fucking
calories so high. But I mean, and something else to look into. Different countries have different MREs. If you can find, like, when we were in Iraq, we were stationed with French coalition. They were our artillery while we were over there. And I got a couple French MREs. We would trade them 3 MREs for 1 French MRE because a French MRE is 3 meals worth of food.
Oh.
You get 1 big box, it gives you 3 meals. And it's like, you get fondue. You get like real chocolate. You get biscuits.
French fries?
No French fries, but I mean, there was like fish, real fish in cans. It was good
That
food.
was back like the olden days,
Yep.
back in freaking World War II. I mean, you got the Spam cans.
Now I doubt the preservation of that food would go as long as an MRE, an American MRE.
I'm gonna
But it was
go as
pretty
far
good.
as saying, you think they were good?
Oh my God, they were so good.
Man.
That's in comparison to eating the same meals though over and over again for 8 months.
Yes, that's me right now with those fucking graduation sandwiches.
Yep.
Sorry, pardon my French.
You, at some point you get tired of it, and I mean, one of the meals when I was over there, we for whatever reason we kept only getting A box. A box has 12 meals, B box has 12 meals. Total, you get 24 meals. We only, for whatever reason, had A boxes, and so I was relentlessly eating the same meal every day, 3 times a day, and that was meatballs and marinara. I got it down to a science on how to most efficiently eat meatballs and marinara in the most appealing way humanly possible.
Without choking on the balls.
Right. But, so changing up, getting 3 meatballs and marinaras a day for 1 French MRE that guaranteed you 3 different meals was appealing. But those guys, they ate up the MREs like crazy too. They wanted
Something different.
they wanted those. The other thing was the local Iraqis. You could get away with buying half a goat for relatively cheap, and they'd butcher it for you. They'd give you all the meat fully deboned, prepped, and all you had to do was cook it. Or you could get a whole chicken, a giant platter of rice, and a bunch of foot bread was like $20 on the high end. You could get away with buying a whole platter for $10, and that's enough to feed 8 dudes.
That's
Make me
cheap.
want
That's pretty cheap.
shawarma chicken again.
Since we're on the food topic, we got a Peppino's Pizza review before we end this.
We had
episode.
Peppino's Pizza today. Nick picked it up for us on his way here while we were doing
There's still
redneck
some
shit.
over there, so yeah.
We were doing redneck shit, and he was getting it for us.
Yeah, nobody said anything about the redneck shit.
Nope.
Websites?
I just checked.
Okay.
They haven't said a
all right.
damn thing yet.
They're getting used to
Probably because they have air conditioning. Never heard of her.
The Peppino's,
It's pretty good.
it's right in there with Oliveira's. Maybe just a tick lower than Oliveira's.
If it was more convenient, I'd like it more.
Yeah. Well, we had a Peppino's, but the owner here screwed it up for everybody.
We did?
Yeah, it
Thought
was,
we had a Palermo.
maybe it was. Yeah, I think it was a Palermo. That's what it was. Sorry, Peppino's. Anyway, the Peppino's from Grand Ledge, right? Where are we sticking that one? I gotta find my notes. They're in here somewhere.
If only you had a notebook.
Oh, dude, I got so many.
I'll give it an 8.
Give it an 8.
Trey?
I give it a 7.
Professor?
I think I'll go with 7.
I've got an unfair bias because I grew up eating it. It was the family go-to. So I mean, personally, I'd give that a 9.5. But if I'm being honest, I mean, the Grand Ledge location's not the original. So I'll give them. I think you guys have it about mid-range on that 7. Seems to be.
I'm gonna go with a 7. 7.5.
Looks like we're sticking at 7 based on everybody but me doing 7.
Yeah, but
It's really
what'd you
good.
Give it.
8.
You
So
said 7,
we're
and a
at
half?
7.2.
Do 7.5.
Yeah, give them a 7.5. Palermo's, all the Palermo's, I feel like they should be all on the same course, whether it's the Grand Rapids one. Can we find out who the first one was?
So I know it was somewhere in the Grand Rapids area.
I think it's the downtown one. I've been there.
My grandpa, my grandpa bought it as a regular family meal for my dad growing up. I think it was every Saturday.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I mean, and my dad ate it his entire childhood. And what did my dad do as soon as I was born? He started giving it to me too. My grandpa loved that pizza so much, he would buy himself a large, and he'd buy his dog a small after he got divorced. So him and his dog would eat pepinos every Saturday until my grandpa died. So, and would you believe it? He died of a heart attack.
I mean, it's not. I don't feel like that's an unhealthy pizza.
It's not terribly unhealthy.
It's pretty good.
I mean, there was
Pizza's pizza. It's not It's not salad.
right.
Could have used more bacon.
Okay, so if the list is in order of when they were added, the first was downtown Grand Rapids, then South Kent Hood, then Allendale, then Jenison, then Standale, Byron Center, DeWitt, Allendale, Holland, Grand Ledge, East Lansing, and for some reason, Pennsylvania.
That's an odd one.
It is an odd
I don't know
location.
where,
I don't even want to pronounce that city name.
The fuck?
well, now I gotta look.
Pole?
Ooh, yeah, I got nothing.
Can you guys pronounce that city name?
Well, considering I was in the Army and now I'm a truck driver, I'm not even going to try. I know my limits.
Olight, me and the professor have been Olight fans forever. Now Moody's on board.
Nice.
Check out this pen.
I still like this Arcfeld
Yeah.
Pro ever since I learned what it can actually do, unlike when the professor was here telling us about it.
It
That
has
fucker
a
gets
laser,
bright, don't it?
And it
Does it
has
have a front end light
pistol.
too?
The old
pen
Pro.
Well,
UV light.
it also has
for a minute.
a very nice turbo mode,
Or
or
up close. Yes,
Push
it has
up
nice
again,
turbo.
hold
or the moonlight.
Yep.
now it's got a laser.
Oh, that's cool.
But now you can turn that off and then put the light on back on. Now push and hold it.
I did take off that laser sticker as soon as that came on the package. So.
That is bright.
I haven't bothered. It stays
Yeah,
in my
old bulb
pocket all
here.
day. Oh no! Give it its cover.
Oh yeah, I need cover.
I figured it'd be a different shape.
Yeah.
We got plenty of that shit around
He
here.
keeps them closer to him so he can.
Actually,
Play with them.
would you like to put your seltzer in here?
That would be awesome.
Really? Here.
Well, I mean, I got two things going for me. I drive a Subaru and it's Pride Month, so
And all of a sudden you're drinking seltzer.
Oh, then you got a shot glass down here you can use
I
somewhere.
got there's one. Yeah, it's right there. And then I
There's one
got
in my trunk.
shit back here somewhere.
I think my wrist is getting weak.
He can use that
Exercise on
July.
that.
You can crack open your next drink with that too.
What else we got? Just for take a break and come back. I'm gonna let the newbies send us out, and they already know because they listen. They've been here and send us out. You two.
Here's to those that wish us well.
All the rest can go to hell.
All right.
All right.